Hey guys, today I wanted to talk to you about translated fiction because I realized recently that I have been reading an increasing amount of it in the last couple of years, and I attribute that solely to BookTube. Now, of course, I did read a little bit of translated work when I was in high school and college, but because I wasn't choosing that for myself, it wasn't really something I realized I enjoyed until I got to college, and then it wasn't until I started watching Sabrina from Unmanaged Mischief that I was inspired to kind of look into it beyond what I had already read in school. So today I thought I would give you guys 5 really easy things that you can do to either get into translated works for the first time or to find translated works that you might enjoy more than those you're reading now. My first and probably most basic tip in this video would be to read translated books from genres you already know you like. I think when a lot of people think of good translations, they automatically assume you have to read literary fiction, when the fact of the matter is there are books in so many different languages in all of the genres that you read normally, so it should be pretty easy to find a book that's at least on a general subject matter or theme that you already find interesting. So for example, if you enjoy American or UK crime fiction, you might have already read The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and not realized that this one was actually originally written in Swedish and was translated by Reg Kielland. This is, I think, a really good example of genre fiction that is a translation that became very widely popular. And another example for crime fiction I would give you is Out by Natsuo Kirino, which I just read and absolutely loved. It's definitely different than American crime fiction. It's definitely different than the Stieg Larsson trilogy, but it was equally good, equally creepy, and very distinctly Japanese. My second tip definitely applies more to when you have read a selection of translated works already, and that would be to try and narrow down either a country, geographic location, or general language group that you enjoy reading from the most. So for example, I tend to gravitate towards Japanese literature because I like slower paced plots, I like character driven plots, and I like the kind of lyrical melancholy tone that a lot of Japanese lit incorporates. Once you've read a selection of translated works from different places, you can kind of suss out the literary trends and the stylistic trends of that general area or linguistic group and kind of identify which one of those you prefer. My third tip would definitely be to identify the translators that you like, which can help you in a couple of different ways. First of all, if you can find them on social media or find out if they have a newsletter or a website or something, definitely keep checking in with those platforms, because chances are if you enjoyed something that they translated in the past, you might actually really enjoy what they translate in the future. So for example, it's no secret that I really enjoyed The Vegetarian by Han Kang, and this was translated into the English by Deborah Smith. Now, Deborah Smith also translated her previous novel, Human Acts, and is part of a small press in the UK called Tilted Press, and recently tweeted about this book, 100 Shadows by Hwang Jung-eun. Because I know I like Deborah Smith's translations and because I trust her literary sensibilities, I immediately picked this one up, and I'm very much looking forward to getting to this next month. So yeah, that's just one example about how you can find out about new projects or old projects by locating a translator and either going through their backlog of translated works or finding out what projects they're generally associated with. My fourth tip is going to be a little bit obvious, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyways, and that would be to utilize social media. So follow authors and translators on Twitter, follow presses that you know really focus on translated fiction or translated works in general on Twitter. Get on their newsletters if they have a newsletter attached to their website. Obviously, because this is a video on YouTube, I have to mention the amazing BookTube community, because there are so many people reading translated fiction these days that it's really not hard to find some great recommendations. Some places I would definitely start would be Jen Campbell and Mercedes, because they read kind of the widest variety of lesser known books that I'm aware of, but I would also obviously suggest Sabrina from Unmanaged Mischief, particularly if you're looking for works of Asian translation, and I guess recommend myself as well. And if you're on Goodreads, I would definitely say check out the Goodreads list section, because so many people have created these really amazing lists of books from different countries, from different ethnicities, from different languages and themes, and it's just really this like amazing place where you have all of these collections that have been pre-curated for you. My fifth and final tip would be to check out some literary prizes. Now, the one that immediately jumps to mind is the Man Booker International Prize, which is a prize that focuses only on finding the best of translated fiction for that specific year. Of course, there are major awards and prizes for most genres, so definitely locate the prizes and genres that mean most to your reading taste. But if you're looking for translation prizes in particular, I would suggest looking at different university prizes because they generally have a translation specific category. Of course, I would also highly recommend these prizes because what they're really doing is trying to determine the best of the best in a particular category or genre, and that does a lot of the dirty work for you. So those were my 5 tips for getting into reading translations, and I hope they were helpful to you guys. But of course, if you have any tips you think I've missed or want to add on to anything I've had to say, leave them in the comments below for other people to check out. If you guys have any great translated fiction that you've been reading recently that you'd like to recommend to me, please feel free to do so in the comments below. But otherwise, that's all I have for today's video, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you next time. Bye!